What is up, guys? This is the first podcast YouTube video that I'm going to do in a series of hopefully many. And I've been trying to figure out where I want to focus my attention on. I'm not some crazy successful business owner, so I'm not going to talk about how to make the next big business. I'm not the world's best jiu-jitsu player, so I'm not going to talk about jiu-jitsu, well, at least not the main topic. What I do think I will be talking about is how to get through the stuff. And by the stuff, I mean the hard stuff. I want to talk to you guys, hopefully other small business owners, and talk to you guys about the real day-to-day stuff that happens and the mental frameworks that I use to kind of get through it all and keep pushing forward. So with that being said, this is the first episode of hopefully a series. This episode is called Too Much of a Good Thing is a Bad Thing. This is a phrase that one of my old managers from Karma Loop actually said to me once when we were talking about email marketing. And his whole point was basically, if you guys hit the customers with a discount every single day, then too much of a good thing basically becomes a bad thing. And what that means is basically your audience becomes desensitized, and eventually they'll just stop looking forward to the sales and then just kind of almost expect sales. So that way it devalues your product. So I don't want to get too much into the business aspect of that, but that's kind of the topic of today's video. The first example I wanted to use was talking about my cars and vehicles and fun stuff. So I think as business owners, we're obviously in the market of building something great, making money, being self-sustainable, all that good stuff. And I think the problem with some business owners is that we strive to have new things, and sometimes we can be materialistic, and especially in my early 20s, that's kind of how I was too. So that's this topic has been kind of sitting at the top of my brain for a while now, just because I feel like a lot of people, they lose interest in the things that they have. And I feel like over the past 10 years, I've been able to mentally create a system that allows me to enjoy the things and stay in love with the things that I own. I'm not condoning, being super materialistic, but I mean, we're all human beings. We like the things that we like, and I happen to like things like my motorcycle, my Nissan, my little sports car, and I kind of wanted to talk about that because a lot of my friends give me shit because they're always like, "Oh, Tony, you don't even drive your Nissan. Like, why do you even have it?" Blah blah blah. I mean, they say that in a nicer way, but and it's intentional. And when I mean intentional, it's I don't drive my Nissan every single day. I have my other car that I drive every day, just because I want to keep that Nissan special. Everything is relative, and if you bounce back between like something like I do, like my daily driver and my Nissan sports car, then the more time that goes between me driving the Nissan, it allows me to look forward to it. It allows me to enjoy it more, and it also keeps me in check with not wanting to get anything else. That car, I will have it until it dies, until I hopefully, knock on wood, crash it, or it dies. And especially going back and forth between my daily driver, which used to be a 97 Ford Ranger, which is pictured here, and my Nissan, going through the shit every day with my beater truck, it allows me to look forward to something. I think, going a certain amount of time without learning to go without creates this replenishable desire to make you look forward to the things that you already own, and almost makes them feel like new again. And this kind of method has also allowed me to keep my desires at bay, and my desires for a newer car or a better car. And I think it's a healthy way to stay in love with the things that you already have, making you more okay with being at the position that you're in with cars or whatever it may be. And it also applies to food, actually. I didn't really think about it too much because I haven't really stuck to a diet in the past year or so, maybe 2 years. I don't know. It's been a while. But, ever since I started cutting weight for this tournament coming up, it's really made me appreciate, a few French fries here and there, the sodas, the pizza, whatever. It makes me really look forward to those like mundane, normal things that people take for granted every day. So that's another way to keep like normal things like, a cheeseburger or something like that desirable. And I think it's healthy. I mean, I think it really keeps you in a state of mind where you like really start to enjoy the things that you might have taken for granted in the past. So this is the first video. That was kind of my little spiel. I have these thoughts all the time, and the goal of these videos is to help normal people like me, hopefully like you, just kind of get through the hard stuff and really get yourself mentally stronger and help you stay on track. And anything that I can do to help you guys do that, I will. These are kind of just like, I call them shower thoughts or commuter thoughts, kind of thoughts that you kind of have throughout the day. And I feel like if there was someone out there that kind of shared these thoughts that was still at the same level as me, I'm mildly successful, I guess, in the sense of we've been in business for 10 years now, but it's not to say it wasn't without hard work and a lot of mental capacity pushing, I guess, if you would call it that. And I'm going to share my thoughts with you guys, and hopefully you guys like them. So I'm going to keep them quick, and this is going to be the first video. Hopefully you guys see the other ones, but if you want to follow along and just kind of like see where I'm at, kind of hopefully have these values applied to your own life, and hopefully it helps you guys out as well. That's going to be it for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.